back to Bitch is a Bad Word. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lindsay. I'm one mom with 4 kids and 0 fancy letters behind my name. I bring on all of the experts to help us unpack our experiences of abuse and narcissistic relationships, toxic people, as we navigate this road through and out of these relationships together. I thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're getting real with Adriana Bucci because sometimes it's time to get your shift together. Adriana knows firsthand what it's like to grow up with a narcissist because her mother was one, and she's here to show us that thoughts become things. You can heal and you can be your own BFF. She teaches how to heal physically from the pain caused by trauma because our bodies and our minds are connected, and remembering that is everything. It is everything. I am so stoked to have her on the show. Adriana Bucci, welcome to Bitch is a Bad Word.
Thanks so much for having me, Lindsay. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so excited about this conversation. I found you on Instagram, like all modern day experiences seem to be happening. And I found your content to be extremely relatable, but also so informational, like educational, and hits all those points. And I love to bring on all the experts because, as we know, I have no letters behind my name. I don't know what the hell is happening. And I found myself in a situation upside down and sideways, like, how the hell did I get here? And so I love to bring on experts like you to help us really understand what these personality types are doing to our brains and how they're fucking with them. Mm-hmm. And let's get your shift together. Like, what the hell? That is like great. I absolutely love that. So can you help us get our shift together today?
Absolutely. Happy to do so.
Amazing. I want to know, how does one become a narcissistic abuse expert?
By going through it.
There we go.
It's, some people go to school and they study it and stuff like that. But I don't know, like my personal experience, I've done so much therapy throughout my life. And a lot of therapists did not know what a narcissist was, or like they didn't want me to use the word because I'm not qualified to use that word. And so it kind of took me like my whole life to finally go down a rabbit hole and figure out what exactly a narcissist was. And then eventually, I actually ended up becoming a life coach because of chronic pain. So that's like a whole, I know, so random.
Okay.
Yeah. And I learned that literally like my chronic pain was a result of repressed emotions from childhood trauma. And my mother was a narcissist. So it just all made sense. And then, I found myself in a lot of narcissistic relationships with narcissistic men. I did break the cycle and I found my now husband who's totally normal. But it was just like,
oh yeah,
it was a lot. Like I went through the ringer with my she died 5 years ago. So with my late narcissistic mother, and, the chronic pain really is what made me heal. And I actually started off as a chronic pain coach. And then the more I started sharing my story and stuff like that, the more people started resonating. And all my clients have chronic pain anyways, if they've been with a narcissist or raised by one, or, some kind of mystery symptoms. And here we are.
What the fuck is that? Okay. Because I've said this now. I've had, I don't know how many shows this week, and speaking with survivors because they were on our Bitch Sesh segment, and they all talk about having illnesses, like mystery illness. Mm-hmm. I've talked openly about being diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and I was like, is this some sort of like foreign ninja? Like, it just sounds so exotic. Actually, I was like proud. I'm like, I have Hashimoto's. That's why I'm fucked up and tired and I can't sleep. What do you have? But it's actually not attractive or fun or anything exotic. But mm-hmm. This seems to be a trend, or like, yeah. Why?
Yeah, like, so I think the universe is trying to tell you something this week, for sure. That is so wild.
It is like, everyone's like, yeah, my hair was falling out. And I was like, yeah, like hair falling out. I used to say, I would walk into my doctor's office. I asked you a question, and I'm going to tell you something. That's how this ends up going. But I walked into my doctor's office and I said, the only way I can describe this, and I sound like a crazy person saying this, is like, I feel like I'm looking at my life through a screen door. Mm-hmm. And everything just and like, also like like, what's the word? Like looking, what's the
Yeah.
word of your eyeball? Like my vision, that's the word I'm looking for. My vision was blurred. It felt like a
Oh.
screen. And I was like, nothing's quite clear. And I'm like, the brain fog was so real. And then my memory was like, so just like, I couldn't remember 5 minutes ago, and weight gain, then weight loss, then weight gain, like all these, my nails were
Yeah.
like, I couldn't even buckle my pants because my nails were like pieces of like tissue paper.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yep.
was like, what is happening? And I'm like, I eat well. I was, doing all the things. So
Yep.
what is this?
Yeah, it's the mind body connection.
Okay.
So yeah, basically if you've had to deal with a narcissist, whether you were raised by one or like in a long-term relationship with one, or, any kind of emotional stress, we live in a society that doesn't really do emotions. And so it starts to manifest physically after, the decades of your life kind of accumulate, and it's your brain kind of picks whatever you're going to believe. So for me, I had TMJ dysfunction, carpal tunnel syndrome. I had surgery on one hand and everything. Like it was a whole shit show. And basically your brain kind of has a map of your whole body. So my lower jaw is too big for my upper jaw. So I got an MRI confirming that. So I would believe in the diagnosis and like keep my focus on my body rather than focusing on my emotions. And so that's kind of like your brain is actually protecting you from the repressed emotions by giving you a symptom or some kind of like syndrome. And like this is assuming you've been to the doctor, you've done the tests, they've determined you're not dying, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have like a brand new fracture in a
Right.
bone or whatever. And it's just like these weird symptoms you have to sort of manage, or like you're in pain and then like the pain kind of moves around or whatever it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally from repressed emotions from childhood trauma.
Shit.
Yeah.
That is crazy because
Yeah.
like and I know it sounds so obvious. Like I feel kind of like duh, like of course we're
No,
because everything's
this is
connected,
not
but
common knowledge.
okay, because you say it the way you say it so well. I'm like, oh well, this makes all the sense because when I left my relationship after, I mean, I was like still going through it, but I didn't need whatever medicine I was taking some sort of Synthroid or some, I don't know, something that was like
Mhm.
from a pig derivative. I don't even know what that was. I took two different
No
ones.
idea. Wow.
Anyway, but I didn't need it anymore. And
There you
I was
go.
like, why don't I need this anymore? Like
It's not a
I felt,
coincidence.
I'm like autoimmune disorder seems like forever,
Yeah.
but no.
Yeah. No.
And
Exactly.
carpal tunnel, like everyone's like, why? I use the computer I was saying this because I was having this pain in my thumb, and then someone said carpal tunnel, and I was like, well, I don't really like. I don't have a mouth. I'm not on a computer all
Yeah.
day. Like I would understand like my mouth hurting because I talk all day long, but not my
Mhm.
hand. So that's all just
Mind body
trauma.
connection. Yeah. It's all trauma. Even psoriasis. I recently had an episode of psoriasis and I was able to let it like make it go away on its own.
By doing like thinking
Well, so
exercises.
I
How
know,
do we
right? So it really like depends. So for me, it's like I've been doing this inner work for 6.5 years now. So my
Okay.
brain is very much on board with the mind body connection. When I first learned about it 6 years ago, I called bullshit. I was like, no, this isn't true. My pain is real. This is dumb. Like I can't just meditate
Mhm.
my way out of the pain, whatever. But the more I started learning about it, I had like what they say is the gift of desperation. And so, it was like literally do or die. I had just had shingles in my mouth and I had something called trigeminal neuralgia after that. And I was like the ripe old age of 30 when this happened. It was ridiculous.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah. And trigeminal neuralgia, it's nicknamed the suicide disease because that's literally how painful it is. So I was like, I told my husband, I'm like, I don't know if, in 10 years, you're probably going to be a widower because I don't know if like 30 is this bad. I'm terrified to age. And then like, thank goodness I found out about the mind body connection. I was very reluctant, but I literally like learned that you can actually rewire your brain on how it processes pain because it's literally just a danger signal at the end of the day. So like your brain, once your mind body system's overloaded with all of these emotions from the decades of your life and whatever traumatic stuff you've been through, it starts to manifest physically. And if you start, like, journaling is a great way to start. Like pen, paper, 20 minutes, destroy it after. Do that every day. See how your symptoms are. And it's not like you're going to think it away. Like, the symptoms are 100% real. It's not in your head. It's just created by your brain. So your brain is giving you that danger signal so that you'll pay attention to your body. So part of it is like not having fear around the symptoms. So when I had the psoriasis like a month or two ago, I was like doing all the things, doing all the research. And then I was like, wait a minute, this has to be the mind body connection, because I had just been through something very traumatic. And I was like, I'm not going to be afraid of these symptoms anymore. And then within 2 weeks, it went away.
I love this. This is fucking rad. But
Awesome.
It's like also like, wait, what? Please go check out our Patreon. It is growing. There is a badass community handing over there. Patreon.com/bitch is a bad word. There's free tiers. There's paid for tiers. The paid for tiers give you ad-free listening, merch drops, merch discounts. We have a private Discord server where every single member is vetted. We personally look at their license so you can build your bestie gang, rebuild your network, rebuild your net worth over there on Patreon. Patreon.com/bitch is a bad word. I'm trying to understand it. So you have, like, I have the cold sore. I read somewhere that like the virus like lives in the back of your neck or somewhere in this kind of area. So like when you're stressed, you should just sort of like get that moving. But I could will it not to happen.
Yes and no, right? So it's like, in a way, kind of. It sounds so like hocus pocus.
Woo-woo. I know, but I love woo-woo.
Yeah.
I'm all down for it.
Like I used something called the Curable app. So like I would strongly recommend it to anybody. And I had shingles, right? So that's similar to it's a type of herpes virus too, right? But from the chicken pox. And I would get like recurring shingles each month, like in my mouth. And so I learned, it was crazy.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. And it was like connected to the time of the month or whatever. And so like I would start panicking about that. And then once I stopped panicking about that, it like kind of stopped happening. So it's like, like once you kind of know what your triggers are for a symptom, kind of just telling your brain, like, I'm safe. Like, I don't need the symptom. If the symptom happens, who cares? Like when I used to get migraines, I would, go into a dark room, get my meds, all that kind of stuff. Now I barely get migraines. And if I do, I'm not like panicking about it. I'm just like, oh, that feels like a migraine coming on. Oh, well. And then like it usually never ends up becoming a full blown migraine.
Oh my God. Because like you're normally like, oh my God, it's happening. Or do I have my pills? Like when I feel that tingle or when I know that I'm stressed AF and it's going to happen, I am like I'm a crack addict looking for my drug dealer with my whatever that shit they give you, Valtrex. And I'm like, I'm out. Oh my God, I'm out. And then I'm like, I feel like I'm probably getting the cold sore because I can't get the refill from the doctor in time. And then I'm like pissed off that I haven't thought about like this has been happening for 100 years. What's wrong with you, Lindsay? And then it comes out and like I have one for 2 weeks and I'm like, so I'm just now probably going to have one at the end of this conversation. No, I'm just joking. Because I'm like, where's the stuff? But I love that idea that like thoughts become things. We all have heard this, but that you actually like, how amazing that we actually have control over ourselves.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah. It's wild. But the brain resists it so much. Like and like the thing is your brain will continue doing it throughout your life. Cause I got rid of my chronic pain 6 years ago. And then this year the psoriasis happened. And then it was like, my brain was trying to bring me back into like focusing on my body. And then I was like, no, I went through something crazy that I need to process. And sure enough, it went away.
I love this because someone a long time ago, and I might have talked about this on the show. I think it's my cousin. Yeah. Shout out, Catherine. She told me this. So she would say, I think her mom told her this, or she would say when she was getting a cold, she would say like, fuck off cold, fuck off cold, fuck off cold. I'm like, whatever, Kath, like as if you can get rid of your cold that way. But I do that because I have a bunch of kids who like always come home with stuff and I'll feel like I'm getting worn down. And I start just telling my body like, fuck off.
Yeah.
So that's that. I've been doing it.
Does it work?
Yeah. I do not get majorly sick.
Yeah, tell the cold sore to fuck off next time.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck off, cold sore. I'm so excited. Oh.
Yay. Let me know how it goes.
We're like, okay, I will, because that's amazing. So
Yeah.
we're saying, what does it look like? Like when you're like as simple as fuck off cold, are you, there's not negative energy is what's fueling the shit that's
Yeah,
in our
so
body.
it's emotions. It's literally
Okay.
emotions. So what I tell my clients to do, like if they have like a symptom or whatever, like journal about the symptom and just journal about how it pisses you off so much, all the things it's going to debilitate you from doing, and kind of see where that takes you, and then destroy the paper after 20 minutes of journaling about it, and then
Like
try
burn
to
it, not
feel.
like
Yeah,
really get rid
yeah,
of it.
yeah, burn it, rip it up, burn it if you can do that safely. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and that kind of, it's kind of like you're getting your thoughts out, and then you're telling your subconscious mind like this no longer serves me, and then that makes space for the emotions to come out. So like sometimes after journaling, like you'll feel like you need to cry or you'll get really tired or whatever. That's amazing, and that's just the emotion starting to come up and out. And just, just have the attitude of like what's coming is going, you can handle it, you went through the trauma, you can go through the healing. And it's obviously not an overnight process. Like for me, it took me 4 months to get out of the chronic pain because it was just such a new concept to me. Some people have like a book cure, so it's like based off of the work of Dr. John Sarno. So anybody listening, he has a bunch of books. One of them is called Healing Back Pain, and the other one from him that I liked was The Mind Body Prescription. I did not have a book cure by any means. I had to like literally, yeah, had to literally like do emotional exorcism on myself every day, and
Right.
go through my subconscious mind and like figure out like, oh, what pissed me off as a child, let me be pissed off about that now, or let me cry about this thing that happened 20 years ago. And like that was literally like, because it was such a pressure cooker of emotions in my body, and they just needed to be expressed and witnessed and just allowed to exist, and then it's all good.
I mean, okay. So I love this idea of having this book because our besties can just like put it in the bestie Bible, burn it, chuck it. So you're burning it or getting rid of it to like that's like a symbolism of just letting it all go.
Yeah, yeah. You don't
Okay.
even reread it or anything. Like everything you write, like don't worry about grammar, like swear as much as you want, say all the unhinged thoughts that are on your brain, because no one's
Mhm.
going to find it. And it's just, these thoughts don't go anywhere if we don't put them somewhere. And so once you release them, you destroy it so that it doesn't have to have control over you anymore. And this doesn't mean that you only journal about it once, right? Like some things that you journal about, like you might have to revisit a few times, which is okay.
Okay.
I know I've absolutely revisited many topics in my own life, but it's just doing that once a day, twice max. Don't do it more than twice a day because you will
Okay.
go into an identity crisis. You've been warned. But
Oh my
it really
God.
helps.
Okay. And so can this be with all things, not just cold sores and shingles and
Yeah,
whatnot? Can this be like repressed if you get angry? Like
yeah,
I have like a boiling point where all of a sudden I'm just like,
yeah,
"Bah!" And I'm like,
absolutely.
why do I keep having this fucking boil over? And
Yeah.
it just seems like shit that I want to close out that it seems like I can't close out. And I feel like I go because I'm like kind of always pretty neutral, like
Hmm.
always chill. I have so
Hmm.
much shit. There's no way I'm this chill, right? Like, because my
Exactly.
life is like, so I'm like, what, why? I'm not this fucking chill. I know it's
Exactly.
not, but it like looks good on the outside, but then
Yeah,
they'll be like, it's 0 to 10. And I'm like,
exactly.
where'd that warning? So that's what we can work on too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The being so chill is literally like that's the prototype of the person who has mind body syndrome, right? So it's like we repress our emotions so much to be seen as like the chill, cool person, so
Yeah.
that like we're not stirring the pot or like upsetting other people, like, being a people pleaser, all that kind of stuff. And then our own shit is just like brewing inside. So, like journal about anything. Like you can journal about the asshole who cut you off in traffic. You can journal about the narcissist you dated 10 years ago. Like whatever it is, journal it out.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is
Yay!
so
I'm so
cool
excited for
because
you.
this is like we're going to do this and I'm going to encourage all of our besties listening to get your bestie Bibles out and write and I love that I love the idea of throwing it away too, because you mentioned something about grammar and I stopped journaling a long time ago because I was so critical of like
Mhm.
the way I was writing, or like I would write it and then I was like, none of this is really real. Like I don't
Mhm.
feel this way. I'm writing it as if someone's going to discover this because,
Yep.
well, I have a story. My story time with Lindsay. I lost my virginity and when I was under 18, and I wrote it in my diary. And I think my diary even had like Care Bears on it or something. Like I wasn't that young. I was in my teens. But anyway, I wrote it in my diary and I put it away in my room. And then during a conversation, excuse me, shit's coming up.
Yep.
Choking.
Mind body connection right there.
And I was like, here we go. And I wrote it that I lost my virginity, and I wrote who it was. And my parent used it against me. And
Of
like,
course.
but not in an like, but in like you just like, you went outside, you were looking for him because, you look like you look like you've lost your virginity. That's what it was. And I was like, what does that look like? And then like, but then they used his name and then another very specific thing. And I was like, oh, holy shit. Like you read my diary.
Yep.
So I think I
will do that.
They,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Like what I would like, wow. Okay. And then so I've just never really like felt safe writing into a journal. And then I would read my entries back and go, this is like so not you. This isn't how you're feeling. And so then it was just like, well, journaling isn't for me.
Exactly. I never journal to like read it after or like to keep it. I always, because same for me. Like if I ever kept a journal as a kid, my mom would get a hold of it and read it and use it against me. And so I hated the idea of it. But then when I learned that like you rip it up after, I was like, okay, I can do that, because then you can just be brutally honest with yourself, and that's all that matters.
I love the idea too of like, you don't need to go back and read that shit anyway.
No,
right?
Exactly.
It's not useful.
Exactly.
And then if it comes up again, you just write it again and you rip it up, and you write it again and rip it up as many times as you need to.
Yep.
Oh, this is amazing. This is so powerful.
Yay.
I love this idea. Like how cool, because there's another thing too, women of domestic abuse. If you're a parent, your narcissistic abuser will find your journal 1,000,000% and use it against you. But then we've heard insane stories from women who've had to turn over their diary to the court, so that the court could read it and make decisions about their mental health or something that they had said. This one person had specifically said something about their ex in the diary, and I can't say it because she listens to the show. Hi, I'm talking about you. I love you. But it was like she made a claim about what she thought about this person. And then he read it and he found it, but then he tried to make it like it was defamation. Wow. Like she must have told everybody this. And then it was like written in this book. So therefore it was written. And then I was like, so I think there's probably, this is a huge thing for everybody listening, that you can write in this and you don't need to look at it. It's not serving you, and you throw it away and you burn it. Yes. And now you're free. We've given the freedom to someone now listening.
Amazing.
I love that. Look at you. Look at you solving problems on the show so quickly. And we're not even halfway through.
That's awesome.
Okay. So we can manifest, so we can heal through thoughts becoming things and whatnot. We've all heard, you can manifest the money, you can manifest the good health, you can manifest the boyfriend or the girlfriend or the partner. And so I wanted to talk about, though, these physical problems that you're having health-wise when you are specifically in a narcissistically abusive, relationship. So what kind of health effects would one typically see if this is your first day and you're listening for the first time and you're like experiencing symptoms?
Yeah, I mean, it can be anything. Like I said before, it's going to be whatever you're going to believe in as a symptom, right? So if your brain has a whole map of your body, if it knows that, like, I don't know, one leg is slightly longer, it's going to give you knee pain or just something random like that. Or like neck pain, any type of pain, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, um, randomly getting hives at like 2 a.m., like just anything, like weird skin stuff, psoriasis, eczema, um, pretty much anything where, like I said, you've gone to the doctor, they've done the tests, you're not dying. It's just these weird symptoms you have to kind of manage. Like, that's the
Mhm.
mind body connection. And it's it can happen for, anything that makes you repress your emotions. So when you're in a narcissistic relationship, you are repressing left, right, and center just to survive, right? Like
Mhm.
they use guilt, shame, and fear. I call them the three musketeers. I tell my clients all the time. They put you in those emotional states where you feel guilty. You are ashamed of yourself. You are scared of, what they're going to say or whatever. And you're repressing it. And that stays stuck in your body. And once you start actually like releasing it and looking at it and letting yourself feel it, you start to realize, wait, this isn't even my shit to carry. And you start realizing, oh my gosh, this has been manifesting physically as like just these random weird symptoms.
Wow. Like that is so true because I love the Three Musketeers reference because that's exactly what's happening. And I guess it's so, see, again, back to like, duh, it's got to go somewhere.
Hmm.
So you can't, you're not free to express your feelings to a narcissist or to your abuser,
Exactly.
or you're not telling, your social circle that you're being abused. You're
Exactly.
holding in so much
Yeah.
shit.
And you're protecting the abuser too.
The other thing, you go to the doctor. I love that you say like, okay, if you're not dying, you've gotten all the tests, and then it's true. Like I have a drawer full of like random creams, and one cream I can use, but like if it's but it's if it's this, then the steroid in the cream will make it worse, and there's this cream for this shit and this thing for whatever, and so I'm like putting them all on. And I used to get when I was when I just left my relationship and I was in the thick of it, I would have dermatitis like around my mouth.
Oof.
And it was like not only embarrassing as fuck because it was so ugly, it burned. Actually, there's a beginning in the beginning of the season. I was like on the camera. I'm like, I can't stop itching my face.
Oh my
Season
God.
one, and you could see it, and then it would go around. It started like spreading, going around my eyes, going around my face, going around.
Hmm.
And the more I stressed about it, thinking back, the
Yep.
more it kept coming, and it just felt like every single time I thought about it, it was angry at me.
Yep. That was probably your repressed rage, right?
Frick.
Like from all the injustice and the shit that you had to go through, and
Yeah.
then it came
Yes.
out physically.
Yeah, because it does. It has to. Again, yeah, because it's either going to come out if you're angry. It's going to come out on the guy that's cut you off on the side of the road. It's going to come off and out on your face, or it's going to come off like when someone says one thing and then you're just like unhinged and lose your shit,
Yep.
and then you feel bad because you have to apologize for being
Yep.
unhinged.
Exactly. And then that creates more repressed emotions because that creates shame.
Ay, ay, ay.
It's just a vicious cycle.
It
Yeah.
is. Oh, okay. So we've got this. How do you handle it like in the moment? So you have experience with a narcissist. Our besties that are listening are most likely dealing with a narcissist, a psychopath, like any pathological person. They may be physically, mentally, whatever, all the things abused. And how, like, what is there some kind of messaging or something that they can just be like as they're being yelled at or as they're being gaslit? Like, I don't even know where this thought's going to go, but like,
Yeah.
is there something you can just tell yourself
Yeah.
like in
I
your
mean,
mind?
yeah, I get what you're saying. It's definitely like, number one, you have to understand that you're just having a normal human reaction to the abuse. So if you do react, it is what it is. Like, don't beat yourself up. I don't want to, I'm going to preface what the advice is with don't beat yourself up if you fuck it up, because you probably will. And, being a human is messy and we're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Like, do not beat yourself up. And so, just understanding, like, number one, if you don't know about the gray rock method when you're dealing with a narcissist, like, that's going to be your best bet. If you still live with them and, you have to communicate with them for whatever reason, you have to remember that the only thing that the narcissist is after is your emotional reaction. They want narcissistic supply. So this is your emotional reaction, your time, your energy, your words, your engagement in these circular conversations that like lead to absolutely no resolution. They live to waste your time. So any energy and attention and time that you're exerting towards this person is what they are feeding off of. So it starts with really understanding that as like a fundamental fact of the whole situation that you're in. And so once you understand that, then it gets easier. I don't want to even say easier, because none of this is easy, but it's worth it. But you start kind of getting that wherewithal of like, oh, this is the trap. I'm recognizing that this is the trap right now. This person wants me to engage. This person wants me to bite. And, of course, if this person ever gets physical with you, or there's like threats of physical, like, you have to call law enforcement. I cannot help you with that. But, in terms of like emotional abuse and stuff like that, absolutely recognize it for the trap that it is, and make that choice to not engage. And if you do engage, that's okay. The point is, you're going to catch yourself later, whether it's, think about it, like, you've been with this person for, for the people listening, I don't know, however long you've been with the narcissist, 10 years, whatever. And you've never known this information. So this is like, the seeds are being planted. So do not beat yourself up. And even if you do end up getting into a yelling match with the narcissist and you realize the next day, shit, that was a trap, you're realizing it, right? Because if you had realized it like way sooner, you wouldn't, the relationship wouldn't have continued, but you couldn't realize it sooner because you were in survival mode, and then they had to do all the tactics to keep you there as long as possible. So as long as you're a living, breathing human and you're realizing it at some point, it is not too late. It does not matter how old you are. And, just recognizing this is a trap, recognizing, like, thinking back on the times where you did engage, and like remembering that like nothing got solved, because it never does. And that in itself can help you. And then eventually in the moment, you're going to start recognizing the trap in real time and making a conscious choice to not engage. Easier said than done. But, obviously doing some inner work, the journaling can totally help as well. Like, like journaling about the fights that you get into with this person, all that kind of stuff. And, that can prepare you, because then you'll be able to release a lot of emotions, so that you don't have that feeling in the moment of this stupid argument that like, oh, I need to make this point because that's going to make a difference, because it never does.
Oh my God, I just did it. I just did it with somebody who's like, absolutely. And then I'm like, what? I was like, I just need to do it because I'll feel better when I say it. And where I just put it in an email. Like, and guess what? They didn't fucking care.
Exactly.
I was still in the hamster wheel. I was still eating word salad in my little cage.
Yep.
And nothing got resolved. But now,
now you know, right? Now you recognize it. So the next time that this person emails you, you're going to be less likely to engage in the same way that you did now.
So what is gray rocks specifically for newbies?
Great question. Yeah. I was going on a tangent there and I didn't even actually explain it.
No, it was great. I was like, I am learning, I'm healing, I'm telling my body, don't react. I love it.
Yeah. So the gray rock method is like, you pretty much become a gray rock. You take on the personality of like a brick. You channel your inner brick wall. You're null. You're nothing. Like, you are the most boring fucking person of all time. You don't have any interests. There's nothing you're looking forward to. There's nothing you're like dreading. Everything's just so neutral to you, even though obviously like the reality is the opposite, and you probably have some very strong opinions about whatever the narcissist is trying to trigger you over in that moment. But you have to just pretend that you don't care. And it's not easy, but like a way that I've told my clients to kind of think about it is like, if you've ever worked in customer service, right? You have to just put on your customer service face and just go with the script. So a gray rock script would just be like, as little words as possible. Like, okay, cool, interesting. That's your opinion, right? And like just sticking to that, because you have to remember that the goal is supply. Every single word you give to a narcissist, they will take it and they'll use it as a weapon and like find some way to do mental gymnastics and use it against you somehow. And so less is more. Less words, less engagement, no emotion. Like literally, you are a brick wall and that's it. And then they're probably going to say, like, oh, what's wrong with you? I'm worried about your mental health, whatever. I don't know. I'm fine. Right? Like you don't even react to that, right? So like everything
Okay.
they say and do is a tactic and you have to like pretend you're unbothered, even though you probably are bothered, but that's what journaling is for. Away
Oh my
from this
God.
person.
Away from this person. So is a narcissist at all capable of having a genuine like concern or thought or care for you?
No, only if it's like it'll look genuine if they're using it to manipulate you. Like they're Oscar worthy actors, these people, but they don't actually care. All they care about is that they're depleting you of your energy.
Because that is that why it's such a mind fuck to like a
Yeah.
normal person?
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, if I just plead with them this way, or if they just
Hmm.
maybe I wasn't clear with how I was trying to get my point across, and if you end up being like so almost full of yourself with like I could solve this problem if I just was
Hmm.
more communicative, or I
Yeah.
said this differently, or maybe, but that's not
No,
it's a you, it's not you, it's them.
it's not you. Exactly. They're intentionally making you believe that like, oh, you used this tone or this specific word and that's why like you made me behave this way. No, it's not like they improvise, right? So they'll take
Okay.
anything, turn it into a problem, and that's the trap. And then if they do show some kind of concern for you or like they're being nice to you, that's part of the cycle of abuse. It's just love bombing, right? So it's love bomb, devalue, discard. And so they'll love bomb you and it can be very subtle. It can be like they're making sense for once or like they're being nice or they smiled or they didn't say that horrible thing to you that they usually say. And that's just to gain your trust and make you think like, oh, okay, maybe I was overreacting, everything's going to be okay. And then you start gaslighting yourself and then the cycle just continues over and over and over again.
Oh my God. So that's like, and listen to all the things that she just said, by the way, besties, because like the little things, those are those fucking breadcrumbs. I mean, like
Yep.
those aren't big gestures. Those are like basic, not even
Hmm.
like subpar things that we
Hmm.
have confused and believed are of value and of great. Like we feel so shitty about ourselves that those one little moments of, and that's all it takes for us to be hoodwinked.
Yep.
Wow.
But
Like,
they've invested so much time and energy manipulating you to be able to get hoodwinked that quickly by like the smallest breadcrumb. They'll do the minimum viable amount of love bombing they need to do to know like what's gonna rope you back in.
oh, they're just like, just a little feeding of the meter. Oh,
Yeah.
like they're just
Yeah.
putting a little quarter in.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. That is, like, it's
Hmm.
so disgusting when you
It
like
is.
say it out loud, like that there's these people are roaming the earth and raising children and being
Yep.
in your life, being in my life. Like,
Yep.
because that is, I can't even imagine the toll it must take on an infant or a baby's or like, toddler life. Like the things that I look back and think, wow, I really like wasn't cared for. Like they didn't care about me at all. And
Hmm.
I was always upset about it. But what I'm realizing is like they're not capable of anything else. So
Exactly.
like, do you get to a point where you forgive that person in your mind, or just like how do you like get rid of like that like, oh, I'm just like, I fuck you for doing this to you. How do you get rid of that?
Yeah. So, yeah, you do not need to forgive your abuser ever, right? That's
Okay,
just,
say that loud for the besties in the back. We don't have to
you do not.
forgive.
You do not need to forgive. Right? Forgiveness is just, it's a crock of shit that abusers came up with so that they can keep abusing you. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. And we've been serving it up
Yeah.
every Sunday.
Exactly. And so, like letting yourself be angry at the
Okay.
abuser is the best way to forgive, right? And like the way that like I've started viewing true forgiveness, not in the traditional sense of like, oh, you did this horrible thing to me. Oh, well, the world is sunshine and rainbows. Let's be friends. No, it's, you release the emotions that you have towards that person And so it's going to be filled with resentment, anger, rage, all that kind of stuff. Journal that shit out, scream into a pillow if you have to, and just let yourself be pissed off because you should be pissed off. And that anger is what's going to motivate you to keep this person out of your life. And that's why like abusers are so big on forgiveness, because they don't want you to be angry. They want you to just forget about everything, keep your anger repressed, so then you don't get the message that the anger had for you, which would have been something along the lines of like, this was so not okay. This is not a safe person to be around. I'm out.
And they don't want to have conversations. You know what I've seen with these, because I've had a few narcissists in my life in different forms, like, you know, relationships, like intimate relationships or friendships or business partners or whatever. And they are the first to like do this, like no contact, like you can't talk to me, you know, or like, and I'm like, well, can't we just have a conversation? Can we just sit down and have a conversation about this? And they're like, nope, no more conversation.
Because they'd have to be accountable.
And like that is because then you're going, what the fuck? Like normal people can just sit here and say, guess what you did really upset me. It pissed me off. It hurt my feelings. It's all the things. And the other normal person would go, wow, shit, I'm so sorry. I'm going to change the behavior and we're going to move on. And I may fuck up again, but at least I'm going to be aware of it, right? Like we're not, again, I love that you said we're all human. We're all going to fuck up. We're all going to make mistakes. But we're sitting here becoming desperate for this person to just have if you can just sit and have a conversation with me in person or on a phone call, but they are the first to be like, yeah, no contact, email only. I'm going to file a restraining order against you if you call me or whatever. And you're like, wait, what? None of this is making sense, but that's the point.
Exactly. And then when they want to talk to you and like throw their word salad at you, you better be available right then and there.
Yes. Oh,
after they've come up with their plan. Yep. Because that's after they've come up with their plan on how they're going to like try to evade accountability. It's always on their terms.
It is. They are. They're masturbators. It's on their terms. And like, that's what keeps you kind of confused, right? Like, that's where you're so gullible. Like that's kind of
they want you confused. They want you confused. And I tell my clients all the time, if you are confused, you are being abused. Confusion doesn't mean that you're like misunderstanding this person or that you're dumb or like you don't know how to behave properly or like have a normal conversation. Confusion means that the other person is intentionally trying to mind fuck you because confused people are easier to control.
Boom. I mean, I just want to drop the mic right now, but I can't afford to replace it. So they're like, I know that Lindsay spent the whole fucking day thinking about all the shit I told her that she said that she didn't say, that she knows she didn't say. And here, don't even try to show a narcissist their own words written in like an email or a text. Because I've never seen somebody deny something that has like literally come from their thumbs so quickly. And you're like, but it's right here in black and white.
Doesn't matter.
They're all like, well,
doesn't matter. If it's a bad look for them, it's not true. It's photoshopped.
And you're like, so all that confusion, all that, wait, it's here. You wrote it. You did it. You said it. You did this. I've recorded you. I've said this, whatever. Doesn't matter. All you're doing is, from what I'm hearing, is you're giving them supply.
Yeah. 100%.
So you are now the drug dealer.
Literally. And you're the one who actually has all the power when you really think about it, because you're the one who can cut off the supply chain.
Damn. Oh my God. We are baddies. We have, so we can cut the supply, which is so hard. So
it's hard.
It's hard because you're the drug dealer and the drug. Yes. That's not my quote. That's Brandon from Narcissist Apocalypse. But he said that and I was like, oh shit, that's so true. He's like, imagine cocaine called you and said, hi, I miss you. Come back. Like, oh, okay. I miss you too. Like, that's it. So you are the drug dealer. You are the drug. You are the supply. You are the come down is going to be tough, right? Like you are addicted to this person.
I wouldn't call it addicted. I would call it more like you're so mind fucked and manipulated by this person. And it's like you have them on a pedestal in a way where it's like, you know, they know everything, or they hold the key to like dispel your confusion and like your happiness or whatever. And it's just really about dismantling that belief that like this person's just literally been on a mission to destroy me. This person's just wanted me to engage with them because they're just sucking me dry of my energy. And, making that conscious choice to pour your energy into yourself and your healing rather than into the narcissist and their nonsense.
Like no words, like my mind's blown. Like I feel like I've just gotten some of my life back too, in these ways of,
Nice.
having this understanding that you're in control. And so we've got the gray rock. You're the supply. What are some things though that like what's the tough shit you're gonna have to do like when you're detaching? And again, if you're in a relationship with an abuser, please, your safety, your kid's safety is our number one concern. Healing comes second.
Yes.
But understand that it's available to you pretty quickly, but it's going to suck for a minute. So
Oh, yeah.
in that time where we're like, oh my God, if I could just, cause you've been doing it for so long, you're on this feedback loop. You love the person, you miss the person, your life is changing, whatever, all the things that happen. What are some things that you can do to take care of yourself outside of journaling? Like, what's the hard shit that we're going to have to do?
Yeah, so the inner work is definitely the hard shit you're going to have to do. And it's, you have to decide what's more painful, the pain of staying exactly where you are and, just pining over this person and continuing to waste your time on this person who, like, time is the one you have to really look at it. Like, your time and your energy is so valuable, and your time is the one resource you're never going to get back. And so, will you regret it when you reach your deathbed? The amount of time that you spent holding on to this person when you could have used that time on your healing and, doing the tough shit, processing the tough emotions and, all that kind of stuff versus, trying to make things work with this person who's never actually really cared about you. You have to make that decision for yourself, right? And, a lot of people, it takes multiple tries to actually get to that point where, like, okay, no, I am going to do the work. Fuck this. Like, I've wasted enough time with this person. But you have to, like, unfortunately, reach your threshold for pain a lot of the times in order to actually make that decision. So, you know, you, I would encourage you to definitely like think about it. Think about your future self and what would your future self appreciate more? That you gave this another 12 shots or that you just finally chose yourself and chose to just become your own best friend? Because at the end of the day, the only relationship that actually matters is the relationship you have with yourself. You're with yourself from the moment. Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah. Right? Like you're with yourself the moment you're born till the moment you die. Right? We all die alone. We're all born alone. It is what it is. And, like another person cannot complete you at the end of the day. You have to complete yourself and you have to like get to a point where you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I get to spend the rest of my life with myself. That is fucking awesome. I am great company.
I love that. Yes. I'm loving being like spending time with myself these days too, after I left an abusive relationship. And I used to hate being by myself. I was like scared. I was actually scared. I would be like, I'd be in my house and I like don't live in a scary neighborhood. And I would be like sitting in the hallway. And I like as if my babies would be able to protect me while they're in the cribs. And I'd sit in the hallway and I would like read with a flashlight. This was like before cell phone. I think before I had like internet on my cell phone. And because I was scared. Like I was scared to be alone. And what I think I was scared of, I was afraid of the big bad whatever was in the dark. But like ultimately I was scared. I was scared of the way my thoughts would make me afraid. Like I was afraid of life. I was afraid of, I've had those, when you're not cared for properly by your parent, when you experience sexual abuse, like all the things were so much in my head that I'm like, I'm alone with me. And we're like, anyway, I say all this that after I've kind of done a lot of inner work as well, that being by myself or being isn't so scary anymore. And like I love like, fuck the Jerry Maguire, you complete me bullshit, because it's like, that's not real. That's such bad information. It's like, you companion me, or like, you compliment me, or like, but completing is us. We
Yeah,
have to be,
exactly.
and if you're never with another person, you'll not ever be alone. And
Exactly.
there's no more lonely feeling than being with a fucking narcissist. Like,
Exactly.
let's be real. That is a sad, sad place.
Yeah. You're more alone with a narcissist than you are when you're alone.
Oh man. Yeah. So if you're feeling alone right now and you're with a narcissist, that's why we've just answered your question. And you're a baddie. You got to be like all within yourself, because I just love, and you can heal yourself. You can like sit there, be by yourself, be your like best friend, and you can heal your eczema.
Yeah,
Like, you're a superwoman.
you
It's
are.
like,
The narcissist just doesn't want you to know that.
they don't. And you need to hear that too. They don't. And I have to ask you, in your experience and in your opinion, can a narcissist change their stripes?
Hell no. Absolutely not. And if you want proof of that, my narcissistic mother died in 2020. She was the same person on her deathbed. She literally gave me the glare, which anybody who's dealt with a narcissist knows the glare, right? Like just that look
Yes.
where like their eyes go black and they look at you with so much disgust and like you're the biggest piece of shit. She gave me that glare when she was literally actively passing away. She was literally days away from death. She couldn't talk. She couldn't eat. She couldn't drink. She looked past you, but she had one moment where she actually gave me the glare. The nurse was right beside me and she was like, holy shit, I understand why you're estranged now. And it was, like, obviously it's a horrible thing, but like I knew
Sure.
I was already on my healing journey, thank God. And it just validated that, like, yeah, this is who she was her whole life, and this is who she continues to be as her life ends.
What a lonely place to be,
Yeah.
too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
eyes go black is so real.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it is. I'm sure like there's maybe, do you know? I have no idea. I'm sure somebody
I don't know the
can tell
science
us.
behind it, but
We need to get that
it's
answer.
weird. It's
It
creepy
is like,
and weird.
I've seen it, I've heard it, and it happens, and you're like,
Yeah.
where the fuck did they just go?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know where they just went.
Exactly.
at
It's like
all.
they become possessed. It's so fucking weird.
Yes. And like as she's leaving this world, she's like one final like
One final fuck you. Yeah.
fuck you. Wow. Yeah. So that's the other thing. Like we're not, you can't, they're not going to change your stripes. It's not happening. The only power you have is the power you have over yourself.
Mhm.
And like we need to do, I'm hearing you say, okay, we need to do the work. We need to burn the books. Like, or that's happening enough. And I won't go there. I won't go there. This is not that kind of show. But we need to burn the pages of the books that we're writing all the bullshit in. And we don't need any answers.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to give us any answers. These
Exactly.
are unsolvable problems.
Exactly. And the answers are within you anyways. And again, if you're confused, you're being abused. There's your answer. That's all you need to know.
Abused. This is going to be the best on our like. I can't wait to like have a social media clip about this. This is going to be so fun because
Amazing.
I've not heard that, and that is like it is basic. It is so you can remember that. You can remember that while it's happening, and that's what because especially if you're in a relationship with like your partner, and they're emotionally abusing you, they're physically abusing you. You don't have any bandwidth. Like you don't have the ability to remember your like social security card number or whatever.
Exactly.
So that confused abuse. Like if you can just have those two things, those rhyming, rhythmic patterns, is that what like they say when you remember things when it's like in a rhyme?
I think so, yeah.
Anyway, look at me trying to be all smart. But that's confused abuse. If you can just say that on a cycle, then you're in a place where you can just then go to what you're calling gray rock and gray rock the shit out of them. Like build. And is a gray rock method also a physical, like do you physically remove yourself from the room? Like do you,
if you can, yeah.
Do you say I'm walking away or do you just like, you say nothing?
Yeah. Like words are weapons, right? So and they're not going to be happy. about you gray rocking them. So let's just nip that in the bud, right? A lot
There's
of
no
people
gray rock
say,
parade.
right? It's not like a button and then, you're covered into a gray rock and they go away.
Oh my
So
God.
you have to understand that, a lot of people say the gray rock method doesn't work because the narcissist gets worse. That actually just means it's working because you're dealing with somebody who feels so entitled to that reaction from you, and they don't feel like, you've given them enough words or enough emotion in your response. So they're gonna escalate and try harder to get that emotion and reaction out of you. So you have to really understand that and work as hard as you can not to give it to them, right? Like if you leave the room, they might follow you, right? Again, if they get violent, your safety is number one, right? Like protect yourself. And,
Yeah.
it depends on your situation. If there is a risk of that happening, like don't gray rock, right? Or start small with the gray rocking, like use 10% less words than you normally would, and then like reduce the number of words as you go. And eventually it's going to seem like it's not working, but eventually the more that you stick to your guns with the gray rocking and just be as boring and dull and not interesting as humanly possible, which again, easier said than done, they will eventually lose interest and find a new source of supply.
Okay. So you have to give that I don't give a fuck energy.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to say, like that, like IDKAF or whatever they call it, energy. That's what the kids say. Well, I say it. 45. And they go and they find a new supply. Now, my question is on that. If you have children with that person, is the child usually affected as well as the child's going through the exact same thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say even like the child's probably going through worse, right? Being raised by somebody like that. Because they can't even protect themselves, right? So it's like you as like the healthy parent, it's your job to kind of protect your child from the abuser. And the fact of the matter is like whatever, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get out of the situation. What matters is that your child has access to you as the healthy, mentally balanced parent. So they're not going to be, like it depends on the situation, right? Like for me, I was completely isolated from my whole family. It was just me and my mom. So I got the worst mind fuck you could possibly get. I did not have a healthy other parent. But for those of you listening you are the healthy parent, at least your child does have you, and you can lead by example, right? Like you don't have to tell them everything, but you can just show them like when we're being disrespected, we don't tolerate it and we get out of the situation, right? So look at it like you're teaching your kids like really amazing life lessons so that they themselves don't end up in relationships like that.
Oh my God. I love it. And you can teach them you can teach them to journal. You can teach them like, hey, write this in a book and then throw it away.
Yeah.
I'm never going to read it. Cause I mean, obviously that's the biggest fear is like you have it there and you're like, as if someone's not going to read this, but like healthy people don't want to read your shit. They're not interested. I don't
Exactly.
need to read the text of my part. I don't care. I mean, there's a trust there,
Yep.
but a narcissist, it's like,
No.
they don't trust. Well, because they're doing, what's it called? Telescoping. Like they think you're doing all the shit or telegraphing or whatever the word is. You're doing all the shit. If they're accusing you of stuff, they're doing it. I promise you.
Projecting. Yeah.
Projecting.
Exactly.
That's there's so many of these words.
I like telegraphing though.
I'm like ding 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 ding. We're just gonna send it out, Morse code it to our future self. They are fucking the stripper. I promise you. So that. Okay, so we're going to teach our kids that they can also journal and then they can throw it away. How empowering would that be too? To like sit there with your kids and say, write it, throw it away.
Yeah.
Wow.
I literally tell my clients with kids who are dealing with like a divorce from a narcissist or a breakup from a narcissist, I literally tell them like, sit with your kids, take that 20 minutes, rage journal together and like have a party destroying your papers. And it just becomes like a fun, like bonding activity. And you don't have to talk about what you wrote about.
Okay, so we've got all these tools for your kids, for yourself. Again, safety being first. I want to ask you, I have two things I'm going to say because I've enjoyed this conversation so much. And I always, I look at the clock and I'm like, fuck, really? Is it an hour? But so I'm definitely going to have you back because we have a lot more to talk about.
I'd love to come back. Absolutely.
Amazing. I have to ask you this. If we are building this bestie toolkit for our besties and if what's one tool that you would give our besties to put in their toolkit as they're leaving their relationship, they're rebuilding their life,
Yeah, absolutely. I just made a brand new guide actually. It's called 7 Steps to Stop Feeding the Narcissist Your Energy. So that would be an amazing tool for everyone to kind of, like not give the narcissist your energy and focus on what's important, which is you and your children if you have them.
I love that. Like that is we've been so confused for so long that we are not going back to basics. Like the basics of like every image that you see is like a mother caring for their child. Like we've been caring for these babies for so long. If you're the protective parent, if you are a narcissist and you have a kid, like that's not cool. Why did you do it to us? But when you're the protective parent, it's like, yes, you have this responsibility. And I feel like we take on the world's problems, but it seems like you're making it so approachable right now that it's so like something that we can do that's just so easy. And when everything else around us is so hard, I love how easy you're making it for us because it's like one step. You don't have to solve all the problems right now. It's just like these one
As they say, don't look at the whole staircase. Just look at the next step.
There's always 12 steps on a staircase. It's so weird that I know that, but there's count them. Now everyone's going to count unless you're like in like a half house, but like a traditional stairs are 12. And I'll one day tell you why it's so fucked up that I know this. And maybe that's why there's 12 steps in the 12 steps. Oh. Anyway, I digress. So we have these amazing tools that we're building. That is a beautiful tool. So these 7 steps that someone can listen to. And then I have to ask you if you would would you join our bestie gang? Would you be a BFF?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are no like initiation fees. You don't have to do anything weird. But you would be a bitch fighting for freedom. And you would join in our BFF bestie gang because I would love to have you part of this group.
Of course, absolutely. I'd love to be part of it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining. Okay, so where can our besties find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at Let's Get Your Shift Together. That is shift with an F, all one word. And wherever you get your social media.
So much. I love it so much. And then you're a coach. So you and you sound Canadian.
Yes, I am.
I'm Canadian. That's what
amazing.
So I was like, she said against, and she said something else and she said swear words. And I was like, oh, I love her. She's Canadian.
Awesome.
So, and you're a coach. So if someone needs to find you and help you like get your shift together, you're the one.
Yes, absolutely. I do one-on-one coaching. I have a community coaching platform as well. And I also do a group coaching program called Bulletproof, which is literally the best program I have ever offered. It's wonderful. So you can find that at the link in my bio, wherever you find me on social media.
Oh, I love it so much. I have learned so much today. I hope that everyone listening walks away feeling as good as I feel like I'm walking away right now. Your energy is infectious. You are batty. You just made it so easy and understandable. And I love that so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I can't wait to have you back. And we will link everything in the show notes for our listeners. And thank you again. I can't say it enough. Thank you. We love you. That was such an amazing episode. I feel like I learned so much. Healing is not linear, right? But oh my God, how powerful. We can really control our pain and by healing and thinking and telling our colds to go fuck off. How exciting. I love that conversation. I can't wait to have her back. And how grateful am I to this community, building this bestie toolkit. I sort of said it at the beginning as something sort of okay, what's a tool we can put one of our first episodes. This toolbox is now a she shed. It's huge, the tools that we have. And I do encourage you to go back and listen to other episodes. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm here for you. I'm your bestie. Welcome to the bestie gang. Welcome to the MILF Mafia. Remember, we do have merch for sale. So please do link and Instagram. You can see our shop to link. We've got the MILF Mafia hats. We've got some bestie gangs coming up in the works. But, if you're a MILF, own it. You're a mother in litigation forever. We got your back. And welcome. And hopefully it's not forever. But at least while you're in it, you feel like you're part of something bigger and more powerful. And if we can all band together and get loud together, we can do big things. We can make big change and we can encourage and inspire each other. And I love you. I do. And please remember this. I always close with this because it's so important. There is no safety in staying silent. If you are in immediate danger, please remember healing comes secondary to your safety. Use 911, crash on a friend's couch, do whatever it is you have to do to get you and your kids safe. That is the most important thing. And if you or someone you love is experiencing abuse, you can reach out confidentially to the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799-SAFE, SAFE, or you can visit thehotline.org. Help is real. It's here for you. There's besties standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They've answered over 7 million calls. If those aren't numbers that tell us that we're in an epidemic, I don't know what else is, but they're here for you. 800-799-7233. And it's all confidential. They will listen, guide you. They've got your back. Please lean on them as a resource. If you're in Southern California, BFFalliance.org is available to help you as well. And the BFF Alliance has just partnered with One Safe Place. So there's a bigger bestie gang in the works building for you. And please do like, share, subscribe, and review the Bitch is a Bad Word podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you listen to your shows. You can reach out to us on Instagram at Bitch is a Bad Word pod. DM me, say hi, reach out. I answer all the messages myself. Send me your texties from your exties and we'll read it on our new standalone texties from the exties segment. You can reach us on 331-BITCHES. It's like landline. You can phone, you can text, you can leave a voicemail. And you can follow us on YouTube where I do go live. I'm trying to go live once a week on YouTube, but YouTube and TikTok is at Bitch is a Bad Word. And thank you so much for joining us on this episode. And I will, like I said, I'll see you next Tuesday, besties. Our editor is Kevin Mackler. Our music was composed by Drew Kevorkian. Our art design was created by Eric Johnson and Kevin Roche. Our interns are baddies. Our Patreon and Discord is managed by Kay. And this has been a Caliber Studio production. Bitches being bad.